One man's desperate search for a bone marrow donor. Danny White is suffering from leukemia, but the shortage of ethnic minority donors means he's unlikely to ever find a match in the UK. The odds are stacked against him. If you're black, you have a 1 in 100,000 chance. If you're white, it's 1 in 5. In this exclusive report, we travelled with Danny to Ghana as he went in search of a lifeline.
Danny White's fight for life has brought him back to Ghana, his place of birth. To cure his leukemia, he needs a bone marrow transplant. The donor must be a perfect tissue match, a genetic twin. Danny can't find one either on the UK or the International Bone Marrow Register. Both are pitifully short of black donors. So he's had an idea. With enough media exposure and publicity, he could start his own register in Africa. And just maybe someone here can save his life.
We're going to start the first ever bone marrow register.
Hi Danny, how'd it go then?
Wonderful. The phone hasn't stopped ringing as I'm speaking. It's just ringing, which is good news.
Answer it, man.
Thank you.
Against all expectations, hundreds answer the call. There's no offer of payment or incentive, but many travel long distances to help.
I'm here today, the thought of saving a life.
I like his confidence, okay? A lot of people get leukemia and they think there's no way out, like they're gonna die or something. But I like the way he's trying to fight it.
It took 24 years to get 600 black donors on the UK register. These guys have signed up more than half that number in just 24 hours. After 3 days, they collect 750 samples, double their top estimate.
There are no words to describe my appreciation for their presence here. I thank every single one of them.
But the odds are still heavily stacked against him. This bustling city of Accra has a population of more than 2 million people. If every one of them gave a blood sample, Danny would still be lucky to find even one match.
I'm Ghanaian mixed with Arab Asian. So that is the sort of people I am personally appealing to come forward.
If he was white, he'd have access to an existing register of 10 million donors. But Danny's starting from scratch in an effort to create Africa's first bone marrow register.
The plan is, once we have been able to establish it here, we are going to replicate it in the other countries, starting with West Africa.
That said, most patients here can't even afford the most basic treatment, and there's no such thing as a national health service. Are you hoping for a bone marrow donor?
No.
No?
No, that really hasn't even been discussed with
Right.
him, because
Okay.
the options, the odds are very minimal that he will
So
get.
at this stage, it's not even offered to
No.
patients. Danny will pay £50 for each of the 750 blood samples to be tested back in the UK. He'll know in January whether his gamble has paid off.
You know, your will to want to live is what keeps you going. Some people will probably give up and say, well, let it be. I guess we all love life.
With millions dying from AIDS and living in poverty, you might think Africans would give little time or consideration to saving one man's life. Yet Danny has found a greater eagerness to help in Ghana than in the UK. And this in a country where less than 1% of the population could afford the treatment for themselves. Jason Farrell, 5 News.
Incredible story. If you want to find out more about becoming a bone marrow donor, then you can go to the Anthony Nolan Trust website. The address is www.anthonynolan.org.uk. A coroner has